Hello, Jordan. This is Paul Tundiff at Woody's Restorations, and this is the boat your dad was having restored for you for your lake house. We started off with it was just going to be an ornament. And of course, it's really dirty right now, and I apologize for the lack of cleanliness on it. It's been sitting in our wood shop area while we thought we were waiting on you, and I think you were waiting on us. So we wanted not to push, since your dad passed away. We didn't want to push. We thought you'd get a hold of us when you decided what you want to do. But anyway, so I'm reaching out to you. So we have completely stripped and refinished the sides and deck. And the deck would look more like the sides if it wasn't for the dust here in the shop. We put a new bottom on it. Originally, we were just going to repaint the bottom, and I think then at some point in the process your dad decided he wanted to get this thing going for your lake house. So we ended up we looked at the bottom, and all the planks were cracked. Somebody put fiberglass over the bottom planks, and the planks had expanded and had no place to go because they had hard fiberglass resin between the planks, and the planks couldn't expand, so they buckled and cracked. And then we also, as I recall, I can't remember if we rebuilt. I really honestly don't remember if we rebuilt his engine. I'd have to look back in the, or if we just detailed the engine. A process called detailing. We just replace or rebuild the alternator. We rebuild the water pump. The starter's on the other side. We rebuild the starter, and we rebuild the carburetor, and then we do a tune-up. We don't rebuild the transmission. Those are generally trouble-free. And so I can't remember if we rebuilt it. Actually, I think we just detailed it. We just fixed all of the ancillary equipment that would keep this engine from being reliable. Then we probably would have told him at this point in time that you have a rat's nest for wiring. A number of problems. Now this right here is not part of your wiring, by the way. This is a copper tube that fastens to this. Look on my screen here. That fastens to this this point right here, and that goes to your oil pressure gauge. Your oil pressure gauge is a manual gauge. Your tachometer is a manual gauge, and there's a tachometer cable down here that hooks up. That end hooks up to this point right here. That's your tach drive, and so those gauges would likely work, but there's a problem with the condition of that gauge, and that is your. Well, what is that? I could have sworn that was going to be your tachometer, but that's a tachometer. Okay, so we'll have to figure what was supposed to be in there. I do know an oil and amp gauge, combination gauge, would have been in here originally. I think maybe somebody left the old tach in and put a new tach in, because this boat would have come out with a 6-cylinder engine, and the tach would have been driven a different direction than this engine drives the tach. And it looks like they just put a second tach in, took out the gauge that would have been there, and over here, and put a different tachometer in, so that you could read the RPMs on the new engine. That's an oil pressure gauge over there, right there. And there's a temperature gauge over here, but that's not Chris-Craft. So we have a restorer that restores these gauges, and we can pull these gauges out, send them off to the restorer, and she can restore them and send them back to us, and I'll give you a price. Well, actually, we sent you an estimate, and that's what we would do is we'd take those gauges, and let's see if I've got one handy. I've got one handy here. I'll show you what the restored gauges look like. Then we get to your steering wheel, and we've got a number of cracks in your steering wheel. We have a restorer that actually breaks all of the pulverizes all of the plastic that's on this wheel right now, and the plastic is cracking, and then recast the wheel. That process is about $2,500 if you want to go that route. Then we have a horn ring that is flopping in the breeze. This would normally activate your horn. There's probably it feels like there's a set of horn contacts that are missing from inside here. When this was upside down, we lost some steering gearbox. Your steering gearbox is down here. Some of the oil came out of the steering gearbox and up inside the beauty tube to find its way onto our floors. No extra charge for emptying that gearbox for you. At any rate, so if we were to, and then of course, a lot of this could use re-chroming. It might polish up, but the thing about chrome is porous, and the pitting. I don't know if you can see the pitting on this or not, but you can see a lot of this there's actually some pits on that. Chrome is porous, and the base metal corrodes. You can really see the pitting here on these pieces. I mean, I got pitting there, there. At any rate, chrome is porous, so the base metal corrodes through the pores, and of course then widens the pores, and eventually the chrome comes off. I mean, you're years from the chrome coming off, but if you want it to look brand new, then re-chroming is what you would need to have done. Someone's replaced the switches on your dash. I just noticed this. These switches are from the mid-60s. So the proper switch has kind of a mushroom head on it right here. This little opening is for the Ivolite control. You had a spotlight on this, an Ivolite spotlight, and we have that. All your chrome's in, I hate to say fair shape. It's not really fair shape. All your chrome's in pretty bad shape. The interior for this boat, I'll do a separate video on the interior. Yeah, I'll do a separate video on the interior. But anyway, just to give you ignore the dust, or if you can factor the dust out of your mind, or maybe I'll just do another video tomorrow with the thing washed down. That's what I'll do. But to kind of show you what the potential is, let's take you out into the area back here where we keep the boats that are about to be delivered. And we'd love for you to come up and see our shop someday if you'd like to. That would be great. We'd like for you to do that. Here's what a re-chromed Ivolite looks like. Here's what fresh chrome looks like. Even it's a little bit dusty, but here are the windshield brackets, step pad frames. This is a replica of original interior. This is not from 1948, and this is blue Russelloid. The boats had rubber mats or linoleum. This one had linoleum. This is one of our new tanks. Actually, we did a new tank for you, for your dad, for that boat. Oh, I was going to show you some gauges. Let's see if I can find. Oh, well, let's see. He's got fresh gauges. Duh. So I thought that one of your large gauges might have been an oil amp gauge, but you had a separate oil pressure gauge. So I'm not sure, but there's a tachometer. That was the tachometer that operates on a 6-cylinder engine, like would have come in your boat. And this gauge swings counterclockwise. And you notice that one of those gauges was clockwise, that I showed you in your boat. It was clockwise, and the other gauge was counterclockwise. So you don't have two engines, so we'll just have to figure out which of the large gauges you had. You probably had, yeah, I don't know. We'll have to figure that out. Let's see. Oh, here's another steering wheel like yours that I probably won't be able to reach from this side. Nope. You can see it though, right there, but let me get you around to it and you can get a better look at what you should have. Or the condition of your wheel might be the right color, black. This one happened to be white, but it is the same wheel. And that horn ring is flopping in the breeze too. It's not quite the same wheel, but it's pretty close. Again, you can see the gauges. These gauges are in pretty decent shape. Oil amps, temperature, and there was a fuel gauge over there. So that might have been how you were set up. Fuel, oil amps, temperature, and a tachometer. That's likely how you were set up. So anyway, let's see if I have another interior that, no, I don't. So, but if you're interested, we have duplicated the interior materials from exact texture, exact color from the 1930s through the 1960s. And I can look on your hull card and see what you would have originally had. But again, so your boat is fairly original, but it didn't have a V8 in it. So, you know, if you want to go originality be damned, and you want to do a modern interior, we can do that for you. I kind of like the old time interiors. They were pretty cool. And I don't recall, I'm thinking, do you remember what year this is? 52 Riviera.
Sounds right.
Yep. So I'll look up and see what your interior scheme would have been originally, because you might want to do that. With that, I will close, and hopefully we can talk soon. Just in case I didn't cover the fact that you've got a rat's nest, I did. I call it a rat's nest for wiring. You really need a complete rewiring job. It'll all be color coded, and you know you're only allowed to have one juncture between the dash and wherever you're going. In other words, one splice. And we grabbed a piece of wire out in your box that had like 3 splices in 1 foot. So I talked about your box. We have cages that we keep all your parts in to keep them segregated from other customers. And so that's what I was referring to. All right, then. Hope to hear from you soon. Thank you.